Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Terrifying Tuesday on this channel where we talk about all things horror, and today we have got to talk about some Scream 7 news. Apparently a lot's been happening behind the scenes, or at least that's the rumor, and we're going to break some of it down. So let's get right into it. So actor Skeet Ulrich was talking to Scream Rant about the possibility of Stu Mocker coming back. Now, you might wonder why this is important. We're dealing here with a fractured franchise. And with a fractured franchise, they're going to have to do something to resurrect it, to kind of bring it back into the forefront. We know that Billy Loomis is dead, and enough fans have pondered over the years that Stu Mocker is alive that it could potentially come to pass. However, this is the thing. This only works if Sidney Prescott is back as the main character. Because if Sidney Prescott comes back as his main enemy, as his main target, then it works. That was the problem with the previous incarnation, was that it didn't make sense for the ghost face of the past to come after these new people. Sure, some of them were related to the original victims, but it really didn't help the scenario. It was still a good movie, and it went forward in a nice way, but now the actress who plays Sam has been fired, and things have to move forward once again. Because what actually happened here is a travesty. The director is gone. The writers and everything are kind of having to regroup. So it's not surprising that this film could go through a drastic change, take a drastic measure to actually ensure its future. And doing something as shocking as bringing back Stu Mocker would not only appease some of the fans, but would also maybe anger some of the other fans enough that they would be up in arms and excited to see the film. This would be a really cool thing to see, a really awesome way to move forward. Just the fact that they could take Stu Mocker and bring him back would be interesting at its core. And it might be just the boost the franchise needs. But as I said, this only works if Sidney Prescott is back as the main character. If we're dealing with a Sidney story, then I could definitely see something like this working. I could see it going forward in a unique way. I could see it working quite well. But what exactly was it that he said? Let's kind of go over what he said, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. He said that as long as it is served, didn't make a parody of itself. I think the only opportunity would be is if he were alive to make any sense. And yeah, I was all there for it because he's all for it. He goes on to say, and yeah, I was hoping, by the way, it could be happening, and he wouldn't say a word. I had to keep it a secret for 14 months for Scream 5, so who knows. Now, with that being said right there, he knows how this works. And if his friend was not able to say anything, would he kind of maybe hint that it's possible and kind of nudge the fans a little bit to get them riled up just a little bit to say, hey, this is a possibility, knowing that he can't break that confidence, and that right now, no one can break that confidence. We cannot see them do this. So it has to come as a complete surprise. And being that they kept it under wraps that Billy Loomis was coming back for so long, it definitely makes sense that with Stu Mocker coming back, that would also be kept under wraps. I could see this as being a complete possibility. it would just have to make sure that it wasn't silly or comical or treated it in some cheesy, horrible way, because once you do that, you're taking the fans out of that picture. You're taking them out of the scenario. I've heard it all before, how Stu Mocker is dead because the TV fell on him. And they've kind of hinted and nudged that maybe this isn't the case, just toying with fans and keep on toying with fans. But the funny thing about when you keep toying with fans like that, especially when a draft exists that would later become the television show The Following, in which Stu Mocker was the mastermind of a serial killer cult of ghost faces. That later became the television show The Following, because the script could not be used because of a real-life tragic event. Now, you can go on to read more about that on the internet. The articles are all there. It is out there for you to read. But with that being the case, the original scenario was to bring him back anyway. And if you're dealing with a Sydney-centric story, I could definitely see them try. However, it does have to be handled in a complete, unique way. You can't just have him come back. You can't just say he's been away, he's been in prison. He has to have faked his own death. He has to have been alive all these years, and they had to have all thought he was dead. Just kind of that final twist, kind of like we've seen numerous times in the Scream franchise. Think about Scream 3's killer. That twist ending was exactly the type of thing that we could be seeing here. A Roman-esque type of situation where Stu Mocker suddenly reveals himself to be alive. And we definitely know that the actor is down for it. Matthew Lillard is 100% down to come back. And I can believe that they would pull something like this, being that the franchise is in a lot of trouble right now. I could see them wanting to do something that's going to ensure a shakeup, something that's going to cause fans to talk about it again. Even if they don't give it away in the trailer that Stu Mocker is back, they're going to want to kind of make sure that enough people are talking about it. At this point, do they even care if people spoil it? If people know that Stu Mocker is in the movie, they probably want people to hint and nudge that he's in the movie to get the people who want Stu Mocker back to come and see the movie. But that's not our only Scream news, even though that is the biggest chunk, and that's what we've talked about this whole time. The other thing to talk about here is that Scream 7 is supposedly has a new writer. Supposedly, there's going to be an announcement really soon as to kind of what's going on with it. And it is getting a release date of April 2025, if you can believe these rumors. So all of this kind of comes to fruition to be this kind of exciting moment for the Scream franchise once again. To know that the Scream franchise isn't dead, that it's not dead yet, and maybe, just maybe, they don't bring back Stu Mocker, but they do something completely insane here. And whatever it is, I'm kind of there for it if it gets the Scream franchise off and running again. Because I think that the Scream franchise is definitely worth saving, and I do want to see it move forward. I'm sad that the current storyline has come to an unfortunate end where half of the stars won't return or can't return. And I'm sad that we missed out on Sydney in the last movie during that whole thing because she had pay issues. I support Neve Campbell completely, and I want her to get paid what she deserves so that she can be part of this franchise again. So that's where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. What do you think about that scenario? What do you think about the entire Scream situation going on right now? Are you excited that this could be happening behind the scenes and some stuff could be getting done? We want to hear from you, so make sure you leave us a comment in the comment box below. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and you don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Them friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.